Credit access remains a challenge for Thai SMEs, with loans shrinking 5.1% year on year. Less than half even have access to bank loans. To explore the barriers they face, we have Vikas Jain from Funding Societies. Vikas, what obstacles are preventing Thai SMEs from accessing credit?
So Funding Societies is amongst the largest SME digital financing platform in Southeast Asia. We have presence across 5 markets, and Thailand is one of them. For Thailand, SMEs are very, very important. They contribute to about 99% of the businesses, about 80% of the jobs, but only less than half of them are able to access formal credit. The reasons are many. The important ones are that they lack sufficient documentation. They lack collateral, which is typically required by the more traditional financial institutions. They also have fluctuations in their business, which impacts their revenue and thereby makes them ineligible for loans with the more traditional institutions. Some of them have seasonal businesses, which also means that they do not have stable income and revenue over the years. Last but not the least, what we have seen in recent times is that there's a fair bit of economic fluctuation. And in such times, lending institutions typically tend to tighten the credit norms and make it more difficult for SMEs to access funding.
So, how can fintech lenders implement tailored financial solutions for underserved Thai SMEs?
I think fintech lenders need to be able to understand the space that they want to operate in, which should typically be complementary to the more traditional financial institutions. That's where products like invoice financing comes in. Typically, how it works is that, let's say, an SME has issued an invoice to their buyer or a client, which is a larger institution, and these clients will typically take about 60 to 90 days to make the payment. Now, for SMEs, for those 60 to 90 days, they have a cash flow gap because they have already incurred all the expenses in terms of producing and delivering the goods, but they have not got the payment. Against these invoices, players like funding societies can provide them short-term funding and help them to be able to bridge the gap between the cash flow that they have. The other product that we have seen and we are also providing is PO financing or purchase order financing. This typically helps in terms of SMEs being able to buy the raw materials and stock that they need for their projects and for businesses. We are also working specifically in the area of supply chain financing, where we partner corporates to fund their SME suppliers who typically have limited or no access to funding from formal channels.
There's also concerns on rising non-performing loans. With that, how can fintech lenders improve risk assessment?
In the last 12 to 24 months, the Thai economy has gone through a fair bit of fluctuations. Businesses have not been performing as well as they were doing previously, and delinquencies are rising across the board with banks, with traditional financial institutions, with fintech lenders as well. At these times, fintech lenders have to be prudent in the way they underwrite loans, while also balancing the need for the SMEs. So one of the things that they have to look at beyond the more traditional data points is the alternative data to be able to understand both the capability and the capacity of the SMEs to repay. They also need to be able to monitor the SMEs closely in terms of their repayment behavior and the changes in business they're having, and have a scoring model which is flexible enough to incorporate these changes as well as sudden shocks in the economy as well as specific industries. By doing these, fintech lenders will be able to create a good, strong, and healthy portfolio while also helping SMEs by including them in the financial space and the credit space.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Vikas. Once again, that was Vikas Jain, country head of Funding Societies, Thailand. He will also be joining the Asian Banking and Finance and Insurance Asia Summit on February 18. So for more news and a chance to network with industry leaders at the summit, Don't forget to visit asianbankingandfinance.net.